This is a warning to all cryptocurrency holders and investors. This could go down as one of the worst cycles in Bitcoin's history. And if this pattern repeats from this chart right here, it could be an absolute disaster. Not this next year, but into the future for Bitcoin. Take a look at what I mean. In 2011 in Bitcoin, the market was incredibly hot and we printed these on fire signals. Now, when you look at this chart, there are cold colors and there are hot colors. In simple terms, this red is considered red hot. Red hot marks market cycle tops. And in 2011, we had a lot of red. Well, in the next cycle, we had a lot less red, but the red did mark the market cycle top here and here. But let's be honest, there was a lot less red, which means that this next market cycle was a lot weaker than this one. But it gets worse. That next market cycle we had, there was even less red, leaving everybody to start to worry and wonder what's going on in crypto. Why is this market cycle significantly weaker than the previous and that one significantly weaker than that previous? Well, it got even worse because the market cycle top in 2021 didn't even have any red, which means it was significantly worse than all of them combined. Well, fast forward to this market cycle, we're not even having any green. Of course, we didn't have any red yet, but this is leading in to be one of the worst market cycles in history. And if this pattern repeats, things can get really ugly. In today's video, I want to dig into these facts and uncover some hidden clues as to why this is happening, as well as what it would look like in the future if we repeated these patterns. And more importantly, can Bitcoin sneak in some red color? What could possibly help Bitcoin change everything and go from being in this bloodbath to absolutely dominating again, like it did in 2011, like it did in 2013, and like it did in 2017? Are those days gone forever? Is this the new norm? What is going on? All of that and more is going to be covered in today's video. Let's get into it. Pay attention. This is your last chance. The sale is about to end. Today is the last day.
I was trading primarily with emotions.
I got stuck in trades because I didn't know what I was doing.
Don't you just wish that there was buy and sell alerts that could be sent to your phone? The key is right here in front of you.
And now with Steve's plan, I'm actually up 32,000.
I experienced my first big winning trades over 100%.
This thing is a game changer. Your transformation happens today.
Don't be scared. Take the leap. It is amazing. It'll change your life. It'll change mine.
So here we are, Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the monthly chart. And what we have on our chart is the heat worm. You're not going to be able to find this in your indicators. This is a part of the indicator bundle, one of the many powerful tools that you can get at your fingertips for the rest of your life with a one-time payment. But again, this is your last day and you're about to miss out on this huge opportunity. So this indicator is incredible. Look at what it's done. It told you to buy Bitcoin at 15,000 right here. It also told you to buy Bitcoin at 3,000 right here. It also told you to sell Bitcoin right here at 20K. So you sell at 20K and you buy at 3K. These are some of the biggest signals in market history, and they're right here, custom tailored to your liking. And by the way, on the indicator bundle, let's say you're not long-term like this. You want to be buying every day or every week. We have custom settings for different indicators. If you're a day trader, we've got you covered. If you're a swing trader, we've got you covered. If you're a long-term investor, we've got you covered. And of course, if you're a hybrid student, we definitely have you covered as well. Now, when you look at it, you can say, okay, we had incredibly strong buys back here. We sold right at the market top. We had buys at the bottom of the market. This top was a sell. This top was a sell. This is a buy. Now we're understanding how this thing works, right? The darker the blue, the better the buying opportunity. And the hotter the color, the better the sell opportunity. But when you look at the data, I warned everybody a few years ago that the market cycle we're in now will be the weakest one in the history of Bitcoin. I got a lot of hate when I said that because everybody wants me to say, oh, this, the popular thing to say is this is going to be the best bull run ever. Everybody's going to be so rich. We're going to buy these meme coins and everybody's going to be driving Rolls Royces. That's what they want me to say. That's what typically everybody in crypto says. But I don't roll like that. I like to prepare everybody based on facts. Now, what you see here is just fact-based. The 2021 top was nowhere near as strong as the 2017 top. And the 2017 top was nowhere near as strong as the 2013 top. And the 2013 top was nowhere near as strong as the 2011 top. That's not my opinion. That's math. And we can't argue with math. That's indisputable. Now, what you can see as further evidence are the color coded on your screen, right? You can see once we get into these greens and yellows, and especially the red, the market's red hot, and it's time to think about taking profits. It represents the hottest time of the market, which is typically the hottest in phase 4 or phase 5. Keep in mind, we had a phase 5 in this cycle and in this cycle, and we didn't have a phase 5 in 2021, and we haven't had one yet in this cycle. When you look into it further, you can see that we just recently had some greens at what could be our market cycle top. But what we've never gotten to are those yellows, right? That yellow here is where our market cycle top one was, surrounded by green with a clear yellow. We've just gotten these light hues of green printing here, which is just further evidence we have struggled. Another way to look at this, and this is what I know you're going to be perched up in your seat. You're going to want me to say this. You're going to be so excited when I say this, and you're going to potentially be bouncing around in your chair. Wherever you are right now watching this and you hear what I'm about to say, man, it's going to make you jump for joy. But let me explain it in detail. What if Bitcoin is not even close to completing this market cycle? What if Bitcoin surprises everybody and shocks the world? Actually, it wouldn't surprise everybody. The high majority of humans think we're going a lot higher right now. That's not my opinion. Look at the poll I just ran with thousands and thousands and thousands of people who watch my channel saying that we're going to go way high. But anyway, I digress. What if this chart right here is suggesting that Bitcoin is nowhere near the top because we haven't had these greens yet? We haven't had this yellow. And what if Bitcoin suddenly gets all these greens and yellows? And what if it even gets into red? You know how high the price would be if we started printing all these greens, yellows, and then red? It would be astronomically higher than it is now. What if this chart is suggesting that, right? Which, hey, let's be honest, that is a possibility. That's on the table. If we were to look at this chart and say, no way, based on this chart, there's no way, we would be lying. We don't have evidence that there's no way. It would be a complete guess and an emotional opinion. It wouldn't be based on fact. But let's be honest, it is a possibility. We've had every market cycle top so far represented by at least yellow, surrounded by green. And let's be honest, we haven't really had green yet. We just had shades of green here. We haven't really had yellow at all, and we haven't really had green, and we definitely haven't had red. So that is one way to look at it. We've got to be honest, like that is a possibility. Pay attention. This is your last chance. The sale is about to end. Today is the last day. Get money-making buy and sell alerts directly to your phone. It works for Bitcoin and all altcoins. Sign up now and make 5 times more in this cycle with my indicator bundle. Best of all, this is the largest ever discount we have ever had on the indicator bundle. The problem? It's only for a limited time. Save an extra $250 off when you sign up with crypto. This is your chance to start dominating. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking. In charts, there are possibilities and probabilities, right? You want to base a lot of your evidence on probabilities. There's going to be no example in human history where it's 100% going up or 100% going down. Anytime you hear that, you should run the other way because whoever is telling you that is lying through their teeth. There are no certainties in charts. There's no chart. You can look at the housing market, precious metals, ETFs. There's no chart that's a certainty, which is why everybody who has experience talks in probabilities. If you're listening to a channel and they're talking about the probabilities, that's a channel to listen to because they're speaking based on logic, and it's likely that they have experience to portray that logic to you in such a way where it makes sense to you. That is how we're dealing with this. So based on this, a chart alone, no other chart, just based on this, we can say that it's not likely we're going to suddenly have red like this. It's not likely. Why? Because we had a lot of red back in 2011. We had less here. We had even less here. What you want to notice are trends and repeating patterns, okay? Especially in cycles. My favorite thing to look at are the cycles of Bitcoin and comparing repeating patterns. If you've watched me for the 8 years I've been on YouTube, that's all I talk about. All I talk about is basically Bitcoin with repeating patterns. And we look for these repeating patterns, and we can usually say with some level of conviction that the probability is higher or lower that this move happens next. And we usually align it like this move will happen next if this thing happens. And if this other thing happens, it's a telltale sign to sell because this is what's going to happen. Those are probabilities. What we can say from this chart is that it's just not likely we're going to print a whole bunch of red suddenly, okay? Because if you look at the math of it and start to break it down, the percentage gain here was significantly higher than this one. And this percentage gain here is significantly higher than the next one. And this percentage gain here was significantly higher than the next one. And this percentage gain here was significantly higher than this one we're in here. So based on math and based on us knowing the difference between blue and red, we could figure out that it's not likely that we're going to suddenly shoot to the moon. Although we can dream it, but there are two things that could save the day for Bitcoin. And I'm going to express what could potentially happen next, as well as the two things that could save Bitcoin. The two things that could save Bitcoin to help us go potentially higher are, well, it's not just two things, it's two main things, but we've covered it. What you need to see Bitcoin do is have a stochastic RSI cross on the weekly. When we have a stochastic RSI cross on the week, we could not have broken the structure of the RSI at 44. So we need it not to go below 44 on the RSI, and we need a stochastic RSI cross, and Bitcoin cannot go below 70K. And if we do all of those things in order, we need that stochastic RSI to push us to a new all-time high. All four of those things have to happen in sequential order, and then Bitcoin has a chance to really shock the world. Anything outside of that, if 3 of those are yeses and 1 no, we're done. If 2 of those are yeses and 2 nos, we're done. Any other scenario outside of 4 yeses in sequential order is bloodbath. I hate to break it to you, but that's the world we're living in. We've had bearish divergence. We've had a shooting star happen right at bearish divergence. Bearish divergence has marked the market cycle top of 2 other market cycle tops, and the precise days was similar as well. I mean, the writing is on the wall, but there is a way for Bitcoin to save the day. Now, what could happen next on this chart is if this is the market cycle top, we're in trouble. And the outlook for Bitcoin's future is in shambles. If you think about it, okay, every cycle is getting weaker, and you've already agreed that the euphoria, we haven't had euphoria yet, we haven't had altcoin cycle yet. That's what you believe, even though altcoins have exploded beyond belief, and we've had ridiculous euphoria. We went from 15,000 over 100,000. Anybody who is sitting here saying that's not enough, get the hell out of crypto. You don't belong here. That's greed. That's pure greed. We went from 15,000 to over 100,000. And you may say, well, I missed the 15. I didn't buy at 15. I didn't. That means you didn't watch my channel. I was screaming as loud as possible to buy at 15, 16, 70,000 when 80 to 85% to 95% to 90% of people were against me. But you have to be honest with yourself. We went from 15,000 to over 100,000 and people are not satisfied. You shouldn't be in crypto. You can't get gains like that in the rest of planet Earth. For the past 15 years, Bitcoin has been the #1 investment on planet Earth. And if you're complaining about gains from 15,000 to over 100,000, you just shouldn't be in crypto. Just hang it up. This is not for you. You're living in this imaginary world that's not reality. Everybody thinks, oh, all these altcoins are going to explode. That's what they said in 2021 when we were at our market cycle top. We didn't have an altcoin rally. Really? Altcoins exploded then. And in that cycle, we went from 3,000 to 70,000 and people still weren't satisfied. So just let all of these things sink in. I know I said a lot of things that are hard to really take in because you got to be honest with yourself and you got to tell your ego to shut up and you got to be self-aware, which is hard to do. But I believe you can do it because I was in your shoes. I know what that feels like. And I know those steps that need to happen to really wake yourself up. And you can do this. Bitcoin is tough. Bitcoin is volatile. Bitcoin is an emotional roller coaster, which is why when you watch my videos, I stress not to focus on the day-to-day. Don't focus on the hourly chart. Have you ever seen me cover an hourly chart? Have you ever seen me cover a 4-hour chart? No, they're garbage. They belong in the garbage. That's where you're going to make these little kid moves, picking up pennies on the ground. We focus on big boy moves here, big girl moves here. We focus on buying at 15, 16, 17,000 and taking profits when it's smart. That's what we focus on. And that will help you tremendously to stay clear during all the emotional nonsense that crypto brings. So take this into consideration. This is your chance to really wake up and start to make these changes for your life. And if you sign up to my program, it's going to help you tremendously and you'll have lifetime access and you'll have full support from me in email. Any day of the week, any day. When you sign up to my stuff, I'm available anytime you need. Hey, Steve, hey, I'm setting up this chart. I'm looking at, hey, am I looking at this right? Hey, did I do this right? Hey, I'm thinking about buying, selling. This is my strategy. Hey, what do you think about this? Yeah, you get full support, something that you don't have right now. So I'll see you on the inside. From Mark, Steve's education made all the difference. We profited $50,000. From Dr. George, in just 1 week, I made $70,000 profit using Steve's indicators. Carl, I made 300% trade with his system. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking.